Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Attorney. My name is Blair Clark, and I am here with you with the Mr. David Sobel. David, how are you doing this evening?
Good. Hi, Blair. How are you, jazz hands? I'm
Yes.
doing good.
Hello, everyone.
Aloha.
Good. Aloha.
Good. Very good. Thank you for having us. For me, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. We've got some questions we're going to go through. So every week, people call in, they write in, they email David's office, and then his clerks put together the best of the best, like the top 7 questions of the week, and David and I run through them. I ask him the questions, he gives the answers, and they all have to do with his area of specialty. So David, if you want to just lay it out to the viewers at home, what is it exactly that you focus on in terms of law?
Right. The correct terminology is focus. It's very hard to say that you quote specialize. The bar doesn't like when you say that.
Okay. So, what is your focus?
Right. My focus, what we practice, our practice focus is real estate law and finance law. Pretty much anything that intersects with real estate we deal with. And that would be transactional work as well, which would be documentation of transactions, as well as litigation and dealing with controversies associated with real estate. And that usually will also involve probate matters, contracts, business issues related to real estate. And of course, for consumers or individuals, their real estate issues. And most of the stuff that we, the clerks actually pull in every week, when it's real estate related, we try to deal for this program, for this platform that you and I work with every week. We try to pull in individual requests for questions that are associated with individual investors, not larger business owners or probate matters, which we do quite a bit of.
Right, so, something relatable to like the everyday person's real estate issues.
So, and that's pretty much it. I mean, so it's real estate, financial issues, contract issues, and disputes. And that's it. That's what we do.
All right.
For 31 years. I've been doing it for 31 years.
31 years. All right.
You don't look like you're 31 years older.
I know. He's been practicing since he was a baby, everyone.
That's right. Right.
So if folks want to get a hold of you, David, how can they reach out to you?
Well, people get in touch with us by dialing 888-789-1715. And the other way they get in touch with us is going online to provenresource.com. And they can ask questions through our website. What's been really popular, quite a few of the questions that you're going to read tonight, I guess, are now coming through our YouTube channel. So we have as you know, because you've been part of this for quite a while, this endeavor, we have a very extensive YouTube channel with, I think, close to over 100 videos now, related, of course, to our questions and answers that we go through. And people can write in their responses. There's feedback within the YouTube. And I get emails from all over the world, or these communications from all over the world with questions. And if they're general, we can definitely help them. Otherwise, we direct them to give us a call. So it's pretty cool. It's nice.
Okay. So you are collecting these questions now through the comments that people are using through YouTube?
Well, right. Through YouTube.
Okay.
We're also on Justia. We're also on AVO. We're very active in these question and answer platforms. We're a business that solves problems, right? I mean, that's right. We solve legal problems, and most people are just asking questions. They have a question suitable for their situation, their own circumstances, and they reach out. And if we can help, if it's not too involved, we will answer it without having them give us a call. Write them back.
And there's a lot of content on David's website as well, folks. So not just within his YouTube channel, but if you're watching this on a platform that isn't YouTube, just go to YouTube and in the search bar, just type in David Sobel or Proven Resource. But if you go to his website, which is just provenresource.com, correct, David?
Right.
There is a ton of content available on there, and then you've even published a handful of books, and those are free. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're free. They're actually, they go. There's been several that have been downloaded because they're available now online.
Okay.
You can just download them, but you got to go to the website. I'm trying to think, you can probably get them off our Facebook page as well. But those books have been downloaded hundreds of thousands of times. So it's pretty good. I should
That's
really
cool.
charge.
Mm-hmm.
I should charge
That's
you, just give me 50 cents or a penny. I don't care. But it's
Exactly.
nice.
If I had a nickel for every download.
Right. But they're, we think they're very helpful. We get great feedback, and people do,
Right.
They read it, and if it helps, they're designed to be read in an afternoon. It's not that they're not terribly complicated, but the whole focus when we write these is to distill the information down to its barest essence, because people don't want legalese. They don't want long intellectual conversations. They just want to know the information.
Right. No, and I appreciate that. A lot of the books that I read on business and finance and real estate, et cetera, they're 400 plus pages, but they really could have said everything that they said in about 100.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The index is like 50 pages long.
Sure. Right. All right, David. Well, let's get into our first question of the evening. And this question comes from Unsure in Utica. And Unsure writes in and says, excuse me, I am going to borrow money from a friend who lives out of state in order to purchase and flip a property. He sent me over a loan agreement with a deed of trust. When I took it to the title company, they told me that the document is not correct and actually cannot be used in Michigan. My friend said that he has used this before with another friend in Arizona, but what do you think? From Unsure in Utica.
Well, first of all, I'd have to see the document.
Right.
But, I don't even know where they secured the document. Did they pull it in offline? Did they, some online service? I think a lot of people don't realize is every state has different laws, and every state has, different rules and regulations. But when it comes to real estate, what is appropriate for Michigan is going to be different than, I think you said, Arizona. Mm-hmm. Just the statement, deed of trust, right there, when somebody, says deed of trust, we don't call it a deed of trust in Michigan. We just call it a mortgage.
Right.
Okay? And so I get these calls all the time. As of today, I had a gentleman from Florida buying property in Ohio, because we also practice in Ohio. I'm a licensed attorney in Ohio for the 31 years. And, he wants to use Florida documentation. I have to explain to him the remedies or the language that allows you perhaps to seek legal remedies in Ohio is different than that in Florida. And you can't use out-of-state documents. I can't go into Michigan using Ohio forms or vice versa, because the remedies or the statutes are different.
Right.
The statutes that call or allow for certain remedies to be taken by, let's say, a landlord or a purchaser on a piece of property or a seller, they're all different. The legal concepts are the same throughout the country, okay? Mm-hmm. American jurisprudence, it's pretty much the same now state to state when it comes to, let's say, real estate. But statutes are different.
Right.
Certain things change. So that was number one. And then the other thing I was going to share with you is something related to the fact that he said that the title company, the Utica title company said this document's no good. Okay. Well, the Utica title company or any title company really cannot give a legal opinion as to the veracity, the legal quality or credibility of a document. That's only for an attorney, okay. An attorney in each state. I can't comment on Ohio. Well, I can because I'm licensed, but let's pretend for a minute I was not licensed in Ohio. I can't give an opinion on legal ramifications or provisions or consequences associated with the document that's generated in Ohio. Only Michigan. Okay. So that's one thing that people should know, that whoever's making that opinion has to be licensed and qualified when they're rendering a legal opinion. And that's only a licensed attorney. So it's good that somebody at the title company said, oh, this is no good. But what was their basis for saying it was no good? Is it something else? Right? So number three, I know we're going to go down. Number three is this is why you always need to have a real estate attorney review your documents, especially when you're borrowing money or lending money. Just real briefly, a document that I'm about to review on I have a podcast called Real Estate for Breakfast. And all I do is review each episode. It's only like 5 to 10 minutes long, believe it or not. And I put the document up online. Remember, I did this at one of our events.
Yeah, you like redacted certain things out of it. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I've been doing that because I seriously have a stack, like huge stack of documents that like you shake your head. And I hate throwing stuff away when it's really interesting or funny. So I decided that I'm going to be doing this podcast and we review what not to do in your legal documents. And, just recently I did one where the guy had a loan document with no expiration date, no due date for when the loan is due, and no legal remedies in the event that the other party defaulted.
Wow.
I mean, it's incredible. And guess what? They lent $65,000 to somebody. That somebody's not paying them back.
Yeah.
There's nothing there's no teeth to the contract. So the number one lesson, just get to a real estate attorney to review your documents, especially if you're using out-of-state documents. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Either have them review the documents or just have them draft them for you.
You know what? It's easier just to give you. I don't want to go through somebody's.
Yeah.
I had like somebody from Missouri with documents, and they're like, "What do you think? Can we use them in Ohio?" And I'm like, "How about if I just give you some Ohio documents?"
Right.
It's so much easier.
Instead of paying me to review these and having to make all of these changes, how about I just give you what works and you pay me for that?
Exactly.
Right. Keep it simple. I like it.